Guys, just give me a few here. I gotta get this all set up in turn, so I'm on a couple minutes early. Because when I use the Zoom function, I cannot like preload all the craziness for the video. So just give me a few seconds here. Mm. Get to you guys in 1 minute if you're just plugging in here. I gotta, like I was trying to say when I first came on, I came on a couple minutes early. Like with using Zoom function, I can't preset my YouTube live settings, so I have to literally go in to do this. It's painful. Go this way. I think I can pop it this way while I do this so I can watch and do this all at the same time. There we go. What's up, Gary? Joey? All right, we should be good on all this, I think, now. Oh, what a crazy week. What a crazy week for the hobby in general. So much stuff came out this week. Give everybody a few minutes to pop in here. All right, close that out. I redid how I had my computer set up, so it'll be a little bit different here. Okay. I mean, it's really not undisclosed when it's a men's strip club, but gotcha. So lots going on in a hobby since we last been on. We've had the 86 Fleer box fiasco, the first year Prism basketball fiasco. It had I can't remember. Oh, Austin Powers cards inside of it. I'm still believing somebody out there has the Panini wrap out there because it's hard to slice that stuff, then redo it all. So I wouldn't doubt if somebody somehow faked all that stuff. Yes, you were at the Blue Oyster Club, dressed in your chaps as a police officer. I know, I know. I was trying not to give everybody the visual out there tonight. But let's see. We've had a lot of stuff with the Gretzky card going on, the swapping out packs to where I guess they decided that they need to announce that stuff. The guy forgot or something. I don't know. I mean, just a lot of craziness going on out there completely. The one thing I just had an interesting conversation about this week for everybody does grading. So PSA, everybody knows they dropped some prices down to like, what's up, Grunt Dad? To like $18 for a July special and all that stuff. So we were looking at SGC's numbers and how they dropped. And to me, I think they dropped because PSA opened up that lower, submission price. I think SGC needs to lower prices here again to stay competitive and not be, doing 30 or 40,000 cards a month. Oh, he's at the Blue Oyster Club tonight, Grunt Dad. he's dressed as some chaps and stuff, and he wanted to go live from there. And I told him I really can't, even though I do restrict this. I said it just wouldn't be good. But a lot of bad stuff going on out there. I've seen where some of the influencers replied back to the 86 Fleer fiasco. And my thing is this, I mean, I got if you were born after the stuff came open, you may have never seen it before. But to me, if I was just a regular breaker, I would think I would do my due diligence. I know BBC certified. I've broken BBCE certified. What's up, Troy's? And I've never had a real issue, but recently now it brings in question a lot of their stuff that's come up that I have, Now, a lot of my older stuff, like my 84 Topps football, I know came out of a sealed case a buddy of mine picked up in Florida, and I got a few boxes out of. But the more I sit there and think about this, if I owned a shop, I think I should be, have some kind of knowledge onto how the 86 Fleer, comes out. I mean, I think I've known that. I think it's the number 66, if I recall right. Correct me if I'm wrong. 66 is stuck in my head, that the numbers go like that. So if I have number 11, the next card out should be 77, et cetera, et cetera. But I've known that, oh gosh, for years. It's just like knowing that, like, your late 70s and early 80s. I think even the later 80s, I'd have to look. Whenever they cut the sheets, there was different sheets. They used to call them like A, B, C, D. And so your box would contain one of those cuts of sheets, or possibly a mixture of the sheets. Usually just one cut of the sheets. So, I mean, you got to have knowledge out there on, just not on the newer stuff that's being released, just in my opinion. Yeah, granted, they really, really, really need to. It's the only way. Prior to the big thing when they stuck it up, was it like $50 and it dropped to 30? They were at $10 a card, and I was fine with that. I'm fine at 12 or 15 with them, to be honest. Because I would send more of my vintage into them to grade at that price. But at $30 a card, it's not worth it to me for vintage. If I can get 2 cards in for that price, I'm perfectly fine with it. But at 30, I can send it to PSA, and I know some people say SGC and PSA is close in prices, but if you use vintage card price website, the VCP, you could tell like where a PSA 6 and like an SG6, big difference in prices on a lot of cards. Maybe like at 2s and 3s, there's not much of a difference, but when you start going up there is. You're playing with your TP. Wow. Oh yeah. I think coming up here October-ish, they're going to do another one. Right now, from what I'm seeing, just from everybody else posting, a lot of the July stuff's either in grading, assembly, or QA1. Now, no, there's been a few people that slipped through, and they've already got their stuff shipped out and back to them. But I think we're going to see a bulk of that stuff starting to come back next month. And they're going to have more in there. I mean, I know they said they picked a mountain up at the National. I know my one economy didn't even go into researcher ID for like 2 weeks. It was one card. So, I mean, I think they're backlogged because of what they took to the National, brought back from the National, having to process all that. It might have helped if they were able to process some of that at the National too. I don't know. At least getting it arrived and then research an ID to where people mailing their stuff wasn't backlogged too. I don't know how many people know that Becca got a new building. I think it was a couple weeks ago, bigger facility. I mean, but with that, just because you have a bigger facility doesn't mean you're backlog and being able to catch up to what you used to be. Yeah, I tried to hit everything I could into PSA at $18. I think myself, I got around 60 or 70 cards in, but I really didn't send much base stuff in. Some of it was soccer just because of the World Cup. and I know that I might be in the card for 50 cents basically. If it tens, and it sells for 25, $30, I make a couple bucks. Yeah, Troy, that was the big thing onto it. Because I have 89 score football. Now I bought those from BBCE long time ago. The 84 tops was wrapped by BBCE. But my buddy bought a sealed case in Florida, and was it four? I think four of us split it. And so those boxes I know have to be good to go. But like my 82 tops, 85 Fleer, 85 tops, these are all baseball, 89 score football. I guess I have 83 tops baseball too. It was all sealed by them. I'm tempted just to bust that stuff myself. Now, I got a big deal going down for a lot of my wax. I'm going to be picking up about 8 to 10 like bigger vintage cards for myself, and then a little bit of cash. I don't think I told anybody, maybe unless I talked to you on the phone or message, but about 2 weeks ago, I was eating Crunch and Munch, and I had a filling in my back tooth back here where I broke like a third of the tooth off. So now I got to get a root canal. I got to get gums cut and new cap and crown on that tooth, and then one behind it for some reason. But it's an expensive procedure, even at 50%. So I was like, well, if I sell this stuff, I'll just get a little bit of cash, pay for that, maybe buy a card, and I'll get all the vintage too. But I'll tell you what, man, when you get out of the army, man, you got to pay for dental. It's expensive. I seen that, Grunt Dad. You wrote in somebody's thing you were in NAM this week. Don't be getting lost on the Ho Chi Minh Trail, man. I said I don't have the strength and the stamina I did as a young guy to come out there and get you now. Are you up on the north end or south end? But yeah, just by looking at, like I said, with SGC to stay competitive, it's gonna be there. Sports Card Ray will be the first to show the third view. Oh, I'm sure it's coming. I mean, unless I open it and it's one of my boxes, the only way I'm gonna beat them to it. Those guys are quick, very quick on everything. And they provide a good research the background to it too. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of bad stuff. Because people were saying like, oh, you can't trust any breakers. Now I could tell you probably out of like the 10 to 15 breakers I've known prior to 2015, five, I think, are still around today. And out of them, I would break with 4 out of 5. But it's because of how they break and how they ship. And that I know if there's anything jacked up, they're going to take care of it. Some of you guys might know them, some of you might not. Now, there's a lot of people I've never broke with before just because I stayed in like a tight circle of who I was breaking with after I started getting into all these breaks many, many years ago. Yeah, I do some selling on eBay, a little bit on eBay, send stuff to DC Sports. He sells for me. Then all I do is just take the money to shows and buy more stuff to recycle through it all. I mean, eBay is still always going to be eBay. The one thing I don't get when you hit collectibles on them, like if you look at what they charge for collecting like money, coins, and stamps, it's so much cheaper in sports cards. And this new or what they call it, authenticity guarantee, where they authenticate the card, is just crap. Somebody just said it took 6 weeks for them to get back a raw card. 6 weeks. That stuff should be in and out of there. But what's really different is that I've noticed, I guess you have to elect that as a seller in the listing, because otherwise I'm not seeing it. I sold some big stuff recently, on eBay, and I just don't get it. And they weren't great. It was raw. Oh, my slabs is good. I think I'm still on vacation mode from last week. I really got to look at that. Yeah, I've seen people been using a lot of Macari and Etsy, and there's a lot of bad stuff on those two sites from what I've seen. I'm trying to think, there was another one, Sports Lots. Is somebody started talking about this card shop live? When I was at the last Louisville show, people were asking me if I was on it. I'm like, no, I got Whatnot's about my extent. And I only do Whatnot like once a month now. I'll grab about 20 or 30 cards just to go through on there. Oh, it was. It was bad. I mean, and the bad part with it is, Troy, is that the person that did it has a kind of tarnished reputation because of what happened. Oh, was that about 2, 3 years ago? Maybe 4 or 5. I forget. It's been a while. Whatnot, yeah, Whatnot's not bad. Like I said, I'll do it like once a month, maybe twice a month. So, like for an example, when I go out and I pick up stuff just in deals, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this or not. Like there we go. Najee Harris, Prism rookies will go up. These are two Otani pieces. Somehow I can't get the show right because of the glare. There we go. Marvels and some Unleashed. Herbert Clear Vision. Like I'll run these three things here. I don't know. They're mini something. I got to figure out the names again, which I can't show. Unless like, oh, maybe if I put in front of my face. There we go. Bunch of vintage stuff. Like here's a 73 Topps Hank Aaron, but the bad thing in the back is somebody wrote on it. You know, Gil Hodges, Billy Martin, Stargell, Lupinella rookie, team leaders with Bench on it, Billy Williams, team leaders McCovey, Aaron May, another leaders, Yaz, Killebrew, Frankie Robinson, Billy Williams, Stargell, stuff like that. I pick up in bulk deals, I'll take on to there. Just because it's taken too long and I don't want to spend $30 to grade it. What's up, Dale? You guys all tracking September 17th. We're gonna do trade night on Discord. So you guys can't see the actual trade stuff. That's what I was trying to show in the video. Cora has it to where only admin or a mod can see it right now. And we were playing around with it on there. So it's not bad. You could choose to either go when you talk onto it to either be like a blank screen or you could be on camera. I would suggest that if you're coming on to trade or show cards, to make sure you do it from a computer because I think it might be a little weird doing it from the phone. But I don't know. I don't use Discord from a phone, but we were talking about that. No, it's not Hank Aaron on the back of the card. No, somebody wrote. What the heck was on this? It says Lori something like that. I don't know if it's Kratz, Kratz or something. Don't know. Somebody probably was their card originally, didn't want anybody else to take it or steal it. You know what? Next time that this one lady goes live, they own a card shop in New Jersey. I'm gonna come live off of I don't know, probably Zoom or something for you guys to see. She does a lot of vintage. And if you guys are really in vintage, I picked up some crazy stuff off of there at like 50% eBay comps. And then she started doing some like ticket stubs that were old from like NCAA games. She has boxing stuff. It's crazy. And it varies so much. So I think next time she's live, it's like called 10th inning or something like that. I think it was out of Jersey or Virginia, something like that. Maybe Maryland, I don't know. But I think all I'm going to do is I'm going to go live when she's live and I'll pull it up here on a screen. And then you guys can take a look at that stuff. I mean, there's very few people I like really go into their Whatnot stuff anymore. Yeah, he's got to go through it. He's been busy because he has a full-time job on a server on there. Um, I'm gonna try to do a video onto it about the week of the show, so the week of the 17th, just to show people from the computer what all you can do with it and stuff like that there. Because I posted a couple cards for sale that were pretty fairly priced, just didn't go at all. I think one of them might have went to DC Sports actually. But with trade night, you guys can trade, buy, sell, whatever you want on there. But we're gonna try it in September, and then we're gonna what I call, some of you old Army guys will know, or military AAR, after action review it to see how we can make it better. And we're gonna progress off of it. I think the plan will be we'll do it probably monthly or bi-monthly on there. And I have gotten asked about using Razes on there. We had a conversation the other day about Razes and the way some of the Razes are run are really rinky dory. So I'll look into that. Yeah, you probably won't, because I don't think I sent any messages. A lot of times I'll just if you put the in somebody's name, it tags them into it. But a lot of times I just reply back to people in the Discord server. Mostly if somebody PMs me on there, I'll respond back. It's a lot quicker than me having to check Instagram and to non-verified. Somebody sent you this, same with Facebook and that. No, I have a couple people that are professional Razor guys that I would bring in. And the way I'm thinking about doing it is it'd be like a Raz day or night thing to where we could all divide it up or whatever is whoever's available that uses a verified random.org, and it would be live in a way. I don't know if we do it the Facebook method where people just take spots, because then you got to use screencast and all that. And if we go that route, I mean, I still know a handful that are good at doing it. Oh, Dale, you got to go. Hold on. I'll pull it up here. Let me do a screen share here. Now, keep in mind, this is for my computer when I do this. All right, so you guys can see my Discord right here now. All right, so if this is your computer here, there's little drop down arrows, so it might look something similar like this in a way. So what I did is I opened up all my arrows. Now, when you go up to server admin, there's a rules. Somehow I think you might have to click on this and put a thumbs up or something. I don't know. He had that set up. But that would be probably a reason why you wouldn't have all these. Now, this is just admin chat here. If you go underneath tips and help, you'll find the eBay block section onto it. So when you click on it, if you click this block list, it brings up a text file. So you copy paste it into your eBay and it's a complete block list. New release calendars here. Well, here on top, because I pinned the newest one. Card show stuff. He still has to post a few more things here. This gives you how to get the best offer on eBay. That's how you check your PSA grades. Fee calculator, like you see, I did this earlier, selling something for $350, and I go down here. That's what I clear off of eBay, or if I did a PayPal sell. But when you come down to marketplace, we've only had the selling, I think, in here originally, but we've been starting to post. Like I put a Capanella in here originally. Metcalf, there's a baddie up there now. If you're looking to buy cards, you can post in here. That's just trading, but this is not the trading channel. What you guys will see, and I can't see you guys on the YouTube right now, so give me a minute. Trade night right here, and this you guys cannot see. What we'll do is these voices here is where you'll go into, and you'll be able to notice who's in them, and that's where the trading will be done. And then what we want to do is have people to branch off to finish their trades in these down here. So the main one will be voice one. And then as you guys start doing deals, if we get too crowded, you guys could pop down into these. And then I will be on the whole time to moderate between it all. And I believe Cora might be on for a little bit. So let me stop sharing so I can see what I'm doing here. All right, let me see here. Yeah, we're still going to talk about the Raz thing, Joey. I'm not going to be able to monitor it 24/7 to run people's Razes. And before I do it, I got to get really familiar with screencast again, because in order to do it, you need to have a screencast that shows your whole screen, just like how I shared that screen to show what's all going on, no funky stuff. At the same time frame, you have to verify the date on your computer. You flip it over to the verifiedrandom.org that you got to pay like 25 a month for, and then run it. And then you post the video to screencast, and then you post a copy of the thing for the RAS, the code. And if I could find. And this is the Discord that you guys can get into. I'll pop it and pin it now in case anybody's not into it. It's not one of those things where I want thousands of people into it, because then I got to start making that a full-time job. I figured if we get like 50 to 100 people in there and half are active and the other half are like semi or a little bit active, we should be able to be fine in there. But yeah, the RAS thing, we're working through that piece now. And then the trade night stuff's good to go. We ran through a test run. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday right after work. But I'll get a video out just to show you guys onto it. Because I had to play around with my settings for my cameras on too. It's weird at first, like I could only get my overhead camera. I couldn't get any other ones. Plug the camera in. Next thing you know, all my cameras everywhere popped up. It was weird. Early picks for NFL. Talk about rookie. Oh, hey, the gridiron video come out next week. I'm looking like, I think Tuesday or Wednesday it'll post out. And the way we're going to run gridiron this year is, I think I'm going to do at the end of week 8 the top 3 people, and then at the end of the season top 3 get something. And then what I'll do is like week 6 and whatever it is, like 14, 15, something like that, I'll say what the prizes are, just because I don't want people jumping in late with this stuff and it's some kind of like master picker and, knock people out because they see what the prizes are. But mid-season will be decent and they'll be better. Then next weekend, I will be in Salem, Indiana, not set up. My next show I'll be set up will be Louisville with the Derby City card show. And then the end of the month, I'm back in September in Newburgh, Indiana. Won't be set up in October. October and March are the 2 months I don't set up. So we'll have a lot more overtimes coming out. If you want to, Joey, just put it out onto either. I'm going to do overtime next week. You could talk about it if you want to, and then I'll just tell you who wins. I want to try to do, like I said, the weekly one. If I do small weeklies, then it's just an end. But I'm going to go with the mid and the end being bigger. Not a fantasy league. We have gridiron games. So what it is, we play like bookie type deal, like Vegas odds and stuff. And you have to pick the winner of each game, and you get a point every time you get it. And so, like after end of week 8, it'll cycle through and shows all the people that are in lead with the most wins. So the most wins will be in first place. They'll get a prize, second, third, and then at the end of the season. Last year we went every week, and then I think at the end I did top prize at the end, but I think with doing 3 decent ones for mid and then 3 better ones at the end, it'll be a little bit better. Last I heard, Jimmy G was still a Niner, but I haven't looked at ESPN today. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not saying this is for sure, but I'm looking at like trying to find a vintage football rookie. I'll leave it at that for the end of the season first place piece onto it. If I could do it, Walter Payton rookie card. Now I'm not going to say it's going to be like a PSA 8 or 7, but I'm thinking about trying to, if I could get to a show and find one that's decently priced or somebody I know, but we'll see. Oh, there's no buying. It's all free, Grunt Dad. I think last year we had like 30 or 40 people playing. And then I'll put out like weekly reminders on Wednesday. Hey, Gridiron, don't forget to, because you could change up until when the game starts your picks. I play, but I can't win. I just play for the fun of it because it keeps me amused. Last year I was sucking beginning of the season. I made a comeback. I think Mr. Vaughn, if I recall right, you took first place that year. I'm pretty sure he did. I'd have to go back and look, but I'll put the link in the video next week for you guys to register into there. And most of you guys, I already know a lot of you guys' addresses to ship the stuff. And Grunt Dad, I know you're because you're in Korea. If you want me to, if you win anything, if you want me to hold it till you come back, that's fine too, or ship it to somebody else. Yeah, not a 9, not a 9. I got a guy that has a one right now that's raw. He's at the Lexington show, but I'm not going to be able to catch him until next month. So I got to look it over again. If it worst comes to worst, get it back quicker. I'll just SGC it for everybody. But what I'm not going to do a video specific on. There'll be like a video comes out Wednesday, and it'll be like me starting it off saying, "Don't forget to update your gridiron games this week, guys." And then I'll probably do like every couple of weeks just to show who's in first. But you guys know how to look at all that stuff too. No, it was definitely fun last year. Hey, what's up, Joe? Yeah. No, nobody said that yet. Man, I didn't think he still owned the actual database site. I didn't know that till you said something earlier. No, I didn't know. I thought that he relinquished all of that for some reason. It's very seldom I even go into that group anymore. What's up, Smitty and Shannon? But yeah, for like the Discord trade night, well, I'll try to bring about 7 or 8 cards for you guys. I'm not going to try to, move a whole lot. I'd rather you guys get more of an experience onto it. Just let me know what you're looking for. I could always take a look. Oh man, they were going off about somebody being wrong or something there. It was crazy. Because when I open up Facebook, usually the only reason I open up Facebook is to look at what's going on in aces and eights, or I'll if you guys don't know, Card Vision's dead for razzing now. Unless somebody buys the website, and I guess you gotta spend money to finish getting it fixed or something. I don't know. But with that being said, I mean, if somebody's looking to buy a website, you guys could have Joseph Robertson about Card Vision. It is up for sale from my understanding of that post. But those are like the only things I check. But when you come up in your feeds up there, Man, there's some gruesome drama, man. It's great toilet read. I always say it's great toilet read. He was just never really popular unless you're Joey who loves Jim Tomei. A lot of people just don't look for him at all. He wasn't like a huge household name um at all. When you think about, I mean, he wasn't like Griffey status and stuff like that, even though he has some numbers and stuff. But I mean, if you really look at Miggy Cabrera, got a lot of numbers, just not a big household name with value. I'm gonna try some different video ideas coming up. Like the one what I want to do with the 10th inning. I'm just gonna come live and then I'll screencast over to YouTube live. You guys can see some of the vintage going on in there. And then I think maybe eventually if I start getting some breaks again with G1 or maybe Jacob or George with soccer, probably those three. Maybe what I'll do is when they're breaking it live, I'll come on or something. Something a little different. I don't know if I'll get much breaks, but if there's something crazy product come out that I like, I might do it. Oh, Joey has like the one-on-ones lockdown. He's like sniping those things every which way. I can't tell you how many Tomei 101s out of 5 auto, out of 10 autos he sent me to look at and grade for him. It's insane the stuff he has. There was a 101, I think it was Dynasty, if I recall right. And I told him, I said, it's going to go for about this amount. And it did. He just didn't put the bid at it, or he probably would have won it that night. But NFL this year, man, I don't know. It's a hard pick for who I even want to pick for Super Bowl. Last year, I was all about the Rams. This year, I don't know. I've been really looking at different things onto it, and uh, I don't know. Before the season starts, I'll pick who I think is going to be in the Super Bowl again. Oh, UFC Select's pretty nice. I was watching Ryan over at G1 breaking some today. It looked really good. It's only like 320, 330 a box, I guess, something like that. And it's really not bad. I've only seen he opened up about 3 or 4 boxes. Only one of them was kind of dreadful. Americans Pastime Hitters Inc. Okay, I'll look. I'll have to see what comes up. Usually that stuff there, it might float through. See, I'm not going to get a chance to go up to the big show in Indy in October just because the drive there and back, I just wouldn't make the time. I would have to get there and like spend 2 hours, no sooner leave. I don't know. We'll see how well Joey B does. I just have a sneaky feeling it's going to be somebody out of the blue. If Kyler Murray, because he always starts off hot to the bye week, if he could actually improve after the bye week, I could see, maybe them having a chance because that receiving core is crazy they got up there. Chantilly. So I'll probably put this stuff out next year, but June, the indie monster show he's doing, I'm gonna get a Airbnb close to it. And I've been looking at them, basically 4 or 5 beds in there. So once I figure it all out, I'll probably see if anybody wants to scoop into it. I mean, I'm not there to party and get drunk and do all that stuff. I mean, just a place to rest and, do whatever. But and then it'll be the same thing up in Chicago for the National. Because I don't know, we've floated the idea around with five of us right now doing it for Chicago, and at five of us, it would be like $100 a night for the Airbnb, which is a lot cheaper than the hotel. Kyler doesn't know the playbook. I I have a funny feeling the Raiders might be a sneaky team this year if it wasn't for where they're located in that division. And that's the hard one, that division, because realistically, I mean, it's tough. Mahomes, Herbert plays to the bitter end. Carr's got now Adams. Depends on how well they connect. But see, the thing that sucks in their division is it's going to be hard to make a wild card spot because they're going to split a lot of them games 1-1. You guys actually think Russell's going to do well in Denver? Chicago? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to float it through because we're trying to look at a bigger Airbnb. I think there was one that had like 8 beds or something up in there. And it was like, I think 3 or 4 bathrooms. It was immense. It's a house. And so basically, we could all either like taxi or Uber to the Rosemont there and back. No, I did not. I'm gonna have to look that up. Wow. I just always based it off of the what do you call it, the bye week. I would like to see Buffalo go. I really would. Josh Allen has a lot of fight to him, but they got to get that beginning of the season together. What's up, Ziggy? Okay, yeah. I'll get that all put together next year because I think we're looking at locking the house in March or April next year, and then way it'll work is that like I'll put it underneath me or the other guy will put underneath him, and then we'll just collect it to show from everybody. But we figured if we did something with a bunch of older people, it's not like party central and we're gonna like get drunk and run around streaking and or in our underwear. It'd be kind of fun because we can come back and just chill, come and go as we want. And then the other plan for next year is I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it because the Indy has a trade night, but I've been hit up enough by people running a local trade night, the Indy show next June, which I would need a lot immense help with if we do that. And I think if we do it, it's going to have to be like 100 people max type deal. Because when you start hitting them 300 to 500 numbers, it's just stupid crazy in there. But we're working that next. Those are like the three big things: is the Airbnbs, finishing up the Discord, and then working at the trade night thing for the show itself. No. I just remember years ago people were splitting houses. I can't remember if it was in Chicago or maybe it was the Atlantic City one. Man, they had some rough parties. And I mean, it was some craziness going on out there. My days of partying have been long, long over. Hey, to me, you can run around in your underwear. As long as it's clean underwear and we don't see no stains, I'm perfectly fine with it. It don't bother me. You guys forget, man. 20 years in the army, we I've seen guys do all kind of crazy stuff. I think it was Ziggy that brought up in a video recently. Oh, what was the girl's name? Not the one that works for Collectors Universe. Is it like Don Diego? Am I right or wrong? It's something like that. It's like a Pokemon collector that like got caught shielding their own stuff. That's the first time I ever heard of it, but I was like in the Pokemon community during all that stuff either. So, and like, that's just the weird thing is people forget or don't know if it was like a long time ago. We're talking years ago because of the influx of all the newer people coming into the hobby, regardless of the reason, flipping, whatever, collecting. Is that who it was? I knew it was somebody like that. And that was the first I ever heard of it. I never knew about that at all. I've seen her pop up in some videos here and there with people walking around with her. And I mean, she sounded like she had a good knowledge on Pokemon, but that's all I knew. Never knew that though. Dale. Yeah, I'll tell you, there's not much I haven't seen. I mean, man, when I drill sergeant, them privates did some weird stuff to amuse themselves for 13, sometimes 14 weeks. Oh gosh. Because we were in OSET, they went straight from basic straight into AIT. Man, they would do some crazy stuff. And when you pop in there unexpected, you're like, just like, what the hell are you all doing? They would all freeze. And I'm like, why is so and so naked and tied up to the bedpost? That's not even a proper knot. You just try to find something else because you don't want to laugh. What's up, Arnie? I think you've been in here for a while. Baseball's about coming to the end. You guys think Julio's got locked up for Rookie of the Year? I got a couple cards I've been debating on holding longer and probably setting in like beginning of September-ish, maybe mid-September to DC to sell. I don't really follow baseball that much anymore. It's just real hard for me to sit there and watch 9 innings of it. Live at a game, I'm fine, but like on TV, maybe it's just I'm getting old. I fall asleep during the games. Go on, Ziggy. If you could put the link to that video on here, go for it because I don't know which one it was. It was within the last week, no more than 2 weeks old. It was just interesting. I had no idea about that. And trust me, the stuff that like gets floated around through some of these Facebook groups that I see, I've never seen or heard of her at all. I think it was just recently this year I seen her in videos, to be honest. Because a lot of times I just look to see what's going on at card shows. I'll just type in card show. And I don't really pay much attention to the deals being done. I'm more about looking at how packed it is, the dealers and stuff like that. And a lot of times it's just like, I gotta take, 5-6 weeks of vacation each year. Do I want to take vacation and go to this show? Is it gonna be worth it? Opossum Bud. Okay. I'll have to look it up after this. I never knew anything about it. It's like I think it's like a dual name. It's like her and her brother or cousin or something like that. They had like made the name up. Okay, there it is. Don Diego. There you go. Yeah, because when I first started looking, I was looking under for DAWN because I didn't realize it was like a 2-person name type deal. It's crazy some of the stuff that pops out about people through the years. Some of the stuff, I'm not gonna lie, like I'll use sports card radio, for instance, they'll pull stuff up, showing stuff. And I'm like, man, I forgot about that happening. I mean, I knew about it, I still do, but it's just not talked about. I mean, honestly, how many people would know if I started laughing about the purple Charger? Would know what I'm talking about. Okay, yep, brother, sister. That's what I thought it was. Granddad, I'll be honest with you. I stay far away from all these new guys playing baseball. Now, my example would be is if I had like 8 Tatis first Bowmans, I'd have sold 7, made my money, and still sat in that 8th one because I wouldn't have cared. But I think a lot of them guys are really screwed. I'll be flat out honest, screwed. Yeah, yeah. The Raz. I joked around the last show and I told everybody I was buying at 50% last eBay comp on Thursday before the news broke. And people were just wouldn't sell because they know they're in a bad situation. Because what happens if Tatis comes back, he gets hurt again, or during this whole suspension, he's like, oh, I'm gonna go ride my motorcycle, and boom, breaks a leg, tears a shoulder, I don't know, does something crazy. Or 2 years after he comes back, he gets another PED violation for something. It's just bad. It's one of the hardest things when you start playing with the younger generation. Same with football. I mean, anything could go on with those guys. All right, Dale. Talk to you later. Was that maybe that's who I saw in a Mojo video? Hello, Sanchez. Oh my gosh. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. You know what's funny? I think I said this about a year ago. I was going through, I had all my old break videos and I was just going through them. And some of them were on YouTube, like very, very old ones, because we used to back up onto YouTube on a lot of stuff, especially on release days for Breakers TV. And I was looking at some of the Bowman stuff I broke. Oh my gosh, I pulled 2 gold Tatis autos, first Bowmans. I think I pulled like 4 or 5 Sotos. A couple of them were colored, I remember, and stuff. I'm just like, wow. I wonder if the people, I know one guy still had the Tatis gold, but at that time, I think he sold it though, because he got offered some crazy amount of money. Oh, there's a lot of people that are crazily invested in them. Well, there's somebody, I think it just recently did a video that had a crazy amount of Tatis. And then I know Kenny Golden was talking about, but I mean, honestly, when he called the one card a $6 million card and sold for 2 and stuff like that, I mean, his appraisals might be a little off. But that 101 Superfractor, I want to say they had it valued at like 2.5 million at one time. And now he's claiming it's like a $500,000 card because of what happened. I think somebody still could get good cash for it, but if they're in it heavy, they're just done. I'll be honest, if I could return back time, it wouldn't be collecting first Bowmans for one. That was just never my thing. I would have gotten more flawless breaks in NT. I remember the bills in flawless used to be like 160 to 180, maybe $190, and they would sit forever. Everybody was trying to get the Bakers and the Sam Darnolds and stuff. I'll never forget that. Yeah, he still got that QVC like piece to him onto it. That was a long time ago. I want to say about 2 or 3 years ago. It might have been about 2. But I had somebody from Golden reach out to me on one of my cards that telling me if I want to consign it, they could work with me. Da 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 da. And I was like, no. And I'll tell you what, because it was an Instagram post. As a matter of fact, I pulled it off of Instagram because I didn't want to get heckled anymore. Because I was getting people just message me out the blue wanting to buy this card. I'm like, it's not for sale, just to show off. It says on there, NFS, not for sale. There's a lot of cards. I mean, like I said, when I saw the Zion Optics when I got back where PSA 10s, they were like 700. I'm like, these are base cards gone. Oh man. Well, he was all into that stuff with him. I can still picture that because they used to come on a lot of times, like either Saturday mornings or Saturday nights. And during winter, we just used to sit there and watch the stuff and amazed. One of you guys are going to get this, Honest Wagner. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh, Troy, that new stuff, man, it's a killer. A killer. Oh man, next QVC Ken, I don't know. Well, I just saw Phil's Pulls start doing videos again. Oh man, some of that stuff was insane. There was once where like he had something like 10 Nolan Ryan rookies that were all graded by various people across the board. And man, I wanted to get one and stuff like that there. Picked up a couple orders, was like a mixture. I got absolute crap. Even today, it'd be considered crap. I don't know if he ever would. I mean, this is my thing. Ken, with his age, just sold Golden Auctions for a healthy sum of money, still has a little works there. I would walk away and enjoy the rest of my life. But I guess sometimes when you have the notoriety and stuff like that, you know, you just don't ever want to leave it. I don't know why he stopped. No idea at all. It just popped up on one of my when I opened up YouTube. I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before, and it was like Phil Pulls, he's back, and I'm like, huh. I'm hoping they do too. I really do. I mean, a lot of people would talk about the GTS thing with Fanatics, how they could do retail, and then I guess they're like the overseas people now for them. It still don't help the breakers that are like in the United States at all. There's going to be a lot of people like that. Retail, here's the weird thing with retail. So the word retail to me and to what when you buy into like with these distribution companies, retail is like your blasters, your megas, and all this stuff. So unless you are a brick and mortar type deal thing, you can't get them allocated. You have to buy them after the fact. So I just don't see it. I think Phil Pulls had a big. I know he bought like the ton of the Sapphires. I think he owned the Sapphire 101 because he said like he paid the guy's house off with it or something like that when he sold it to him. There's somebody else out there that has a huge Tatis collection. And I remember seeing it because it popped up on one of my videos, like recommended videos. And a guy had a lot of money wrapped up in him. And the hit he took, there was, where did I see it at? Instagram or Twitter or something. There was like a group of guys that were talking about trying to do a class action lawsuit because he devalued his cards. I'm like, dude, good luck with that stuff. I don't see how that would even work. Because just imagine if you won that in court, like just a player goes out there, does something stupid. Next thing you know, like everybody's going to go out there and, oh, you cost my cards to go down lots of money and hit them with lawsuits. It's insane. It's almost like going into stocks and, oh, I don't know, like a CEO like of Amazon does something crazy out there and the company downfolds. Everybody sues him because he did something wrong and killed the company. There have been a lot of crazy talk. But I still think somebody out there has Prism Panini Wrap on some of that stuff that's been coming around. Oh, heck yeah. What's weird is like if you YouTube one video, we'll say like about suing something, you'll get like, I don't know, tons of them recommended to you. I watched a video the other day and it dealt with like auditing the police or something like that. And the only reason I watched it because it was in my local area. Next thing you know, like you open up YouTube main page, the whole like first 10 videos are all about like auditing the cops across everywhere. Like sheriff gets arrested for falsely doing something. I'm like, holy cow. Oh yeah, I think it's funny too with it too, Grunt Dad. I mean, he can only, you're investing into him. Just think about other means that people invest in him. Imagine all the endorsement deals he has or had. There's just a whole lot of that stuff that's been going on. I mean, if you really think about it, look over the last 10 years and like people just doing like lawsuits for stuff. I mean, imagine back in the day, I used to get emails about class action lawsuits all the time from companies that somehow got my name. Like, hey, if you had Geico insurance during this time frame, you could be owed money back. The next thing you know, like 2 years later, I get like a $60 check in the mail. I don't know. I'm going to look at it. I mean, I may just not be opening up a whole lot of wax unless it's upper deck hockey, to be honest. We talked, I don't know if I brought this up before, but was it last show or a show before in Louisville? I was talking to the owner of Louisville Sports Cards. And we're going to use Flawless. A briefcase of Flawless could go 7 to 10,000, round release. For that, I could have bought like 2 cases of Upper Deck Black Diamond hockey and been well better off than opening up one briefcase, because if I don't get the rookie card briefcase and I get the vet, and we'll just say, hate to really do this to the guy, but like I pull a Peyton Manning auto or John Elway, I'm not making any money. That'd be funny there, Grunt Dad. You make money off of Tatis sports cards and you have to give him a percentage. Oh gosh. Can you see how that would go? Do you guys see Upper Deck E-Pack has like this product out? It's expensive. And I can't remember what it was called, but like there's all these autographs into it, like Connor McDavid, there's a Jordan and stuff like that there. Kind of crazy because it means Jordan and like LeBron still autographing stuff out there. You just don't see it a lot. You'll start getting underwear ads on here. Hanes and Fruit of the Loom, reverse Speedos, you name it. Oh, Jeff. The lady that lives next to me, like she bought the other condo or townhome. She don't live in it, doesn't maintain it. She's been ticketed twice. It would be 3 times, but somebody came to cut grass and they messed up on the house number. So she got like a free yard cut. So the first one, they give you like a thing, like a warning. So like 2 weeks ago, she had like this ivy. It looked like poison oak growing up out of her bushes. And because the way my garage is, it was going up on it. I said, you got to get that down before it ruins gutters. I'm not touching it. So she come out, and I guess she had another ticket on her door, had to pay $100 fine to the city. And she thought I called the cops on her, reported. I'm like, no. Wow. I get some of the craziest stuff on there. The recommended videos that pop up, I'm like, why am I getting recommended this? And I was looking at farmers markets for this weekend to go get some like fresh sweet corn, stuff like that, right? And next thing I know, I'm getting weird recommendations on videos and Facebook. What's up, Teddy? Oh, we'll get them coming through here. What's up, Teddy? Oh, I think I already said I was just reading through the comments. So I'm used to looking this way, and now I have the screen over here to look. Oh God, a farmers only webpage. No, I'm good. I can just imagine what would come up on that. I can only imagine the things that would pop up searching for that. You know, when they first started that, Teddy, it was really, really cheap stuff, right? And I got into a few of them with them, and I was basically chasing like Lemieux's Topps No Peachy rookies because you couldn't find the wax onto it. Eventually, they started hiring more employees, and I just didn't care for it anymore, and I left. This is probably, I don't even know if I was at this place yet. So probably at least 5 years ago. Didn't freeze. Oh man, if you'd seen her weeds, they were higher. Oh, they were going above my knees because I had to go through like her yard to cut back to hit my one part of my fence line. And I was joking around like I'm probably gonna get fleas and ticks. See, I like because they were at that time frame, they were doing like, oh, I think it was like a 54 top set break, and you got one graded card out and stuff like that. It was a cool concept. But yeah, I moved away. Just it some of the stuff was taking like 2 weeks to ship out to me and stuff. And I'm just, if you can't ship quick, I'm gone. I can understand though, like people with shipping and stuff, if they put out we only ship once a week. I know that, but crazy. A lot of them are. A lot of them are. Yeah, I was talking about earlier because I have some BBCE wrap stuff. Now, like the 84 top stuff I know came from an actual case. So I'm not too worried about it. But like my 89 score, 82, that's 89 scores football. The 82 tops baseball, 83 tops baseball. I have 85 Fleer and tops baseball. A couple other ones somewhere too. Well, anyhow, those there, I'm almost tempted just to open up because I think they've lost all kind of value now. Because you take them somewhere. I mean, it's great to show because you have some kind of communication about it. But in the long run, everybody's going to be wary of that stuff now. I mean, even once it was known that PSA was sending them the packs to authenticate, people started backing away. And I remember somebody saying in a video about Pokemon packs, Something to the fact that Steve Hart admitted that some of them might have slipped through early that they authenticated. They were resealed or something. Yeah. The best is if you could find somebody that owned a shop, or like somebody when like KB Toy Store or Kmart was going out of business that still have them stickers on it. To me, those are like easy ones to pick up. I worry more now with the sealed stuff than anything because too much stuff's gone through the pipes. I don't know if they do. I don't know what their insurance covers. I have no clue. I remember Jabs opened, I think it was a 79 Tops box, threw a conniption over it, but it was true because the 70s and 80s, there were certain sheets when they were cut were, put in the boxes and stuff like that. He just lucked out on. I think they gave him another box for free to open up for everybody. Okay, they have no guarantee then. Okay. I didn't think they did. I think it's just valid as somebody's opinion. And I'm sure he has some kind of insurance to cover the value of his opinion if it came down to it. Yeah, I mean, with PSA, they would cover the pack. Like if it was sealed by them in a pack and then just some craziness you decide to open it and then notice it was tampered and all that stuff, I'm sure they would cover you back because they have a huge insurance piece. I mean, I've only had it now twice where a card's gone there and somehow got damaged. And I mean, they just gave my declared value onto it. And I said, they just take it off my total price of the order, stuff like that. Oh, I remember that where the gum was like ruined, like almost all the cards. I remember that now. Yep. But no, the 79 Tops, like he didn't get any names in the whole box. And if you remember, those are 700 card sets, and technically 36 cards will say 10 packs. You get like maybe half or so in it. Huh. Yeah, I remember the gum thing when it came out. That was what, like two? I think the gum thing was after the 79 Tops one, though. See, that's what I was thinking too. Shannon, was more that somebody was able to duplicate that wrap. No, I mean, you're right. I mean, tell you, think about it, before there were guaranteed hits in a wax box, a lot of the guys that own shops, they would just refill that box up with more packs. I still remember the guys because 89 Upper Deck had a little thing going on where you could tell where the Griffey was in the box and stuff, if there was a Griffey in the box. And they would shuffle the packs up and stuff onto people after a while, and then they're like, hey, no, I'm not starting a fresh box till the last 8 of these go. I'm sure you could. I mean, the only thing is it's trademarked. I mean, you can really get pinged on that piece of the aspect, but I mean, what's to stop you from opening up a box, pulling the nice hit out, replacing it with another hit, re-shrink wrapping it, selling it? Oh, wow, Greg, that's insane. Gluing the packs back together right there. I want to say it was 93. A guy showed me how they were getting the wax packs to reseal crisp. And I was like, wow, really? Somebody put this much time and effort, because they were talking about using the proper amount of heat to this thing and you could refold. I'm like, but with the wax onto where the corners are is the damage. It's like, if you open up a certain way, you could reseal the whole thing. Nobody'd ever know. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. That just takes way too much time and effort. But I guess if somebody's willing to still, they're going to find a will and a way. I don't know if they called them heat guns, but he was talking about using a blow dryer back then. Yep, I'll never forget him sitting right next to me, telling me all about it, because he was a wax guy, one of the wax guys at the shows. Because normally I would just pick up a wax box from him all the time. He'd give me a couple bucks off. I mean, back then a couple bucks was a lot, but you just pick. I'd always buy like a basketball, like a Fleer Ultra box or something like that off of them, because I think the packs used to be like $1 a piece. You were paying like 30 something for the box, and you'd be like, "Oh, just give me 30." But yeah. But we got way more advanced throughout the years on stuff, reproducing cards. You guys probably all remember in the 90s when they were making all them fake cards of Bo Jackson and Jordan. They were everywhere, everywhere. And they were off brand. They weren't like trying to duplicate like a card that came out. It was just another card. People were selling them $3, $4, $5 a pop. If it wasn't for a guy telling me that time frame, do not buy this crap, I probably would have bought it, because I was like, oh, cool, more Jordan cards, But yeah, he was like, you don't want to buy this stuff. It's not licensed. It's illegal to do and all this. I'm like, really? Like, stay away from all this stuff. Bo Jackson was a big one, and Jordan was the other one, with them making all these weird, crazy cards that had the, like, kind of like either a blank back to it or a weird looking with a couple lines onto it and some kind of weird trademark. I wish I still talked to my one uncle, because I remember him buying 93 SP boxes, wanting to save them for decades. That dude probably had 20, 30, 40 boxes he bought. If he still owns them, that's insane, especially if they haven't bricked. All right, Joey, take care. Yeah, I mean, Teddy, a lot of stuff like that. I got the 84 case was a find a buddy of mine found in Florida. And he hit around, everybody asked him if they wanted to go in on this deal, and he was going to get them. That's when I first really found out about BBCE. I think this was in 2016, maybe. Yeah, it had to be 16. And He was like, yeah, they certify, wrap it, and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm game with it, whatever. I said, I'm just going to keep it. What's up, 916? But I will say this, the one thing with all these bad horror stories and shenanigans going on, man, the PR these guys do, some of it's not good at all. One thing I was sitting here thinking is if you had somebody that knew the correlation of 86, 87 Fleer wax packs, and they called that out on stage at the National, they would be like considered like a superhero right now in the sports card world for like, stop. This pack doesn't have the right correlation going on, blah, 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 blah. This box might be tainted. Could you have seen if one person would have did that, the kind of like notoriety and all the stuff that would have went on with that one person? Wasn't there a company called like FASC that was rapping for a while or something like that too? Is that the one you guys are talking about? Well, you guys seen Whatnot put a thing out where they were getting with Golden and getting another 86, 87 Fleer box, and they were going to open it and everybody's going to get their pack again. Yeah, but the real thing is, when did they stop using the staple guns? Was it 80s? 84-ish? Oh, yeah, it should have been. It really should have been. But that's what I was saying, though, Grunt F. What? Oh, okay, okay. That's what that FASC is. I just remember seeing a label or something come across. But yeah, can you just see, though, if one person who was smart would have called that out on stage that was opening them packs? Yeah, once in a lifetime. Once in a lifetime mess up. That's what it was. Yeah, once in a lifetime mess up. Getting bad reviews. I mean, on that stuff. First, the Pokemon. Okay, people gave it to him because he's never did Pokemon. He felt, I guess, kind of pressured, won the notoriety. Now the 86, 87 Flair basketball. I mean, why would you just call it a 36 pack box? I got kind of the wording onto it to make it look more presentable, but just put onto these were 36 packs put into a box. It's not what didn't come from a fresh box. I'm really surprised out of all the people who went up there and opened packs out, nobody caught it. Now, granted, they did say there was what, like 5 or 6 packs that were like, I didn't get to watch the whole thing, that actually had the right correlation to it. So, granted, if you probably were opening up 2 packs of Fleer and a pack of Bowman or whatever it was, and you got 2 of the real packs, I got it. You're going to pass on to it. But some of them were just real obvious. Oh, yeah, yeah. They said they were supposed to announce when it's going to happen, too. I'll be curious to watch that. Who's going to be the person opening it at the same time frame? Hopefully, it's a good box. I think a lot of people are going to be forced to buy direct from Fanatics at the same time frame. Whatever they pay for that price, they're just going to upcharge it. And the sad part is they're not going to be able to make the big gains they did off of allocations. So now, are they willing to settle to make $100 per break after everything's said? And I'm talking about a full case brake, not a box or partial box. Because back in the day, making $100 off of your brake was real good. Especially when you would do multiple breaks in a day, combine all that shipping up. You know, you do 3 cases, and at the end, you're like, after shipping and fees, you're like, man, I made $300 today. That's really good. But you spent a whole day between getting the brake done, then sorting, then shipping it. Hopefully, it didn't take long to fill type deal. But I could only imagine what the prices of brakes will be if they're buying it at direct price. I mean, just like first off the line, stuff like that. Somebody was saying today in a room that in the new select football, the first off the line, the Niners are like 5,000 for a full case break. I'm like, holy crap. Well, you guys, I don't know if you heard, Shan, Car Collector 2, I guess, tweeted or Instagram post a thing saying he wasn't even born yet, so he wouldn't have known anything onto it. And that's where I'm like, okay, I can understand a breaker who only breaks newer products, brand new, might be able to say something like that, okay? But if you own a shop and stuff, you would think you would probably know that. I mean, I don't know. But to me, I just was like, hey, I would have probably came out and had a totally different response saying, I wasn't very familiar with it. I do apologize. I've gotten with, the sponsored event, whatnot, onto it and stuff like that there. Instead of, I wasn't born yet. I don't know any better. I mean, how many of us were born when 1952 Top stuff was out and the tobacco cards and stuff? There's a lot of people been saying that. A lot. And if it's caught doing that, woo, that's just not good. I mean, I had a strong string of a good run once with Panini. I mean, hot cases. Then it died off. And people were always joking around about it. Like, I'll use the example, like, say Platinum busted 15 cases. They didn't pull a 1-on-1 yet. I opened up one case, I had a 1-on-1. Next case, I had another 1-on-1. They're like, oh, you got all the good cases over here. They must have hooked you right up. But I see what you guys are saying though about that. That's also Panini Direct Over, stuff like that. I'll tell you, that's how I started breaking back in, oh gosh, I think 05, 06 time frame, somewhere around there. Just a group of us, you know. They needed a Penguins guy. I was that Penguins guy. So every time that they would agree on buying a case, you'd figure it out. We'd all split up the cost. It wasn't by team at that time frame. Everybody chipped in their own piece. Same once it started going by team, they started making, some teams more pricier and stuff, which was understandable. But it was same the group of guys all the time. And I remember it was US Stream, I believe it was called, or USA Stream, something like that. We used to do the stream on. Ripping vintage packs. Never heard of them. I'll have to look into that. What's up, Charles? I agree. I mean, he may have a little more experience than me, but these guys all just make up excuses onto it. We could all agree we've been duped. We just been duped. We could all agree. Let me get this on tape now. We all agree we've been duped. It just saves face onto it. He was a guy with a good idea. People put their trust in him. That's how it goes across the board. I'll have to look into that now. I mean, if I sat there and talked about like old time breakers, very, very few are around from like, I would say 2010. Heck, I could only think of a handful that are in from like 2014 or 15 that are still breaking today. Mojo Breaks, one of them. G1, another one. Platinum, Firehand. There's not a whole lot that's been around like 10 plus years. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Charles. You have to pay for healthy for an insurance policy onto that because your insurance is going to have to cover every time you go boop boop onto it. But and then the thing is that insurance eventually could drop you, and you got to find another and another and another. I mean, just think about that Pokemon box would have cost his insurance. Probably had them dropped. They would pay it out, but it would have dropped them. I can see that. I can see that, Arnie. Top shelf breaks. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if I sat, I'd have to go look through a list, but Breaker Culture used to have like an extensive list onto it. And I could look at it and be like, these guys have been around for a very, very, very long time. And if I haven't heard their name in a negative way, I would roll my dice with them. I mean, hey, because I know BBC sponsors a couple of the shows. They're kind of local in the area and stuff up in India and stuff in Chicago and Ohio. I wonder if they're still going to be being allowed sponsorship on. I'm sure they will because somebody's going to want that money in the sponsorship, but because that's the good thing. Like if you're in Indy or somewhere within like 4 or 5 hour drive, you got BB or wait, oh my gosh, I was going to BBCE and BCW both in that area to where you could get good sponsorships if you're going to host a big event. No, like I said, I've only had it done once, and that was out of a case somebody got. They probably are. I wouldn't doubt it right now. And just seeing how many that they're actually going to come out with. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Teddy, that's the biggest thing there. How many of them they're going to break? They're going to be like, this box ain't right. It's rigged. We got to stop. There ain't many. Then you have to know, be certain. That's the other hard part. I remember I won a spot in a Christmas giveaway for 5 star, and I want to say it was like in 2018, maybe. And no kidding, they got the case from a distributor and not like a David Adams. I don't know if it was Peach, GTS, or Southern, one of the three. And he went to open. He's like, this don't look right. And as soon as he opened it up, he's like, these packs aren't right because they were all base cards inside. They were all tampered with, recrimped. Because he showed the packs on screen. Yes, he was embarrassed. He got with his distributor. They replaced the case and all that stuff. But how many people are actually going to do that? I mean, not many. I had to sit there and think about what you meant by it. Yep. You know, now that's gonna be stuck in my head. Never forget the E. Tell you what, a lot of these places with all these weird initials and stuff for their names, man, they don't flow right sometimes when I'm saying them. But now, because of that, I'm gonna make sure that E is always in there. Oh, Greg, yeah, yeah, that's bad. You know, I can understand getting 10 packs, maybe even 20 packs. But I think I do had like 40 or 50 packs. There's no way. And then you see the break videos and they're hitting all the nice stuff. No. And I'm just wondering what they'll do about that. I don't think that they've come out and even addressed that at all with the attention they got. See, Steel City used to be Pittsburgh Wholesale out of McKeesport. So back in the early 2000s when I was there, I used to go there and buy wax because they would always give you a bulk discount down there and stuff. I forget what they call it, like a premier VIP or something. Because I spent a good bit of money and so did some other guys. And a lot of times we would just buy a case because it was cheaper between two or three of us, and we would split the boxes out of it. But yeah, they changed over to Steel City, and there were questions about their Gold Rush packs at one time frame. I think it was called Gold Rush. Yeah, I think yeah, Gold Rush. And now the Panini VIP stuff. I mean, I got it. The owner might not be in on it, but somebody in there did the wrong thing. I mean, they might be like, hey, can I buy some of these packs? Yeah, I'm just gonna pick some out. You know, they picked all the good ones or something. You could weigh them, Henry. And see, that's another thing I remember I talked about was people were weighing the National Treasures boxes. This was shops. So what they were doing is remember they had the big thick booklets in there and stuff, and like for bat knobs, they would weigh every one. So they would say the average weight was like, I don't know, 1 pound, 1 ounce. Well, next one they find a box that says 1 pound, 2 ounces, like off to the side, rest go on the shelves. So they would open up 2 or 3 cases that way, put it on the shelves to sell them the single boxes. When they open it, they'd keep the stuff that weighed more or weighed less because that year, say, Otani was a redemption. I'm just throwing it out there, the rookie card year. Oh man, we need to put these aside. They're light. They have redemptions. We have a chance for an Otani in it and stuff like that. There was a lot of shops out there doing it. That's why breakers at one time frame only did full case breaks. Or you would open the case up in front of everybody, and guys were like numbering the boxes and stuff. And they kept it on like, okay, this half right now, this half, they'd mark it for the second half. But nowadays, because the product got so expensive, some guys are like buying 3 or 4 boxes, and I know there's people out there weighing them. Like, I'm just gonna break these 3. Oh wow, look at this one, had a bat knob in it. You know, I've heard some crazy stuff about different places weighing cases and boxes. I mean, I know somebody was talking about David Adams did it, but I was like, I don't know. I've ordered a lot prior to like 2018 from them. And I'll be honest, a lot of times I wasn't getting a lot of the new allocations like Clear Authentic. So I'd order my cases from David Adams. We had some powerful cases from them. And I ordered boxes before just because for me to open up, and some hit or miss. But I pulled some big patch books and stuff like that. I just couldn't see David Adams really doing that for as much as they pushed through. But, you know, I don't put it past anybody anymore. But the weighing of them boxes have been going on for 4 years now, 5. And a lot of it started with the shops because they figured out redemption boxes were lighter. That's why Clearly Authentic and different products are putting the redemption cards in the one touches and stuff like that. Because I think the first year you got a hit plus a redemption. So like if your box was like 8.3 ounces with a redemption, it might have been like 8.5, and they were keeping all the 8.5s for themselves. But there was a lot of shady stuff going on like that. But honestly, that's why a lot of times when I would go to a shop and I knew maybe it was like two of us, three of us, four of us, we would buy a full sealed case because we just weren't filling it with their boxes. And nothing against them, it's just that we didn't have that report where we knew that they weren't doing it. Because the worst is when you walk into a shop in their display case, you see the product that just released and them having huge, like 5, 6, 7 cards in their display case. And you look on the shelf and we'll just say there's 13 boxes of NT. Some weird number. Oh, yes, people bought some boxes. We opened a couple cases early. We got those hits in it. You know, how do I know you just didn't weigh the boxes and pull that hit to begin with? But that's just stuff that we've seen through time. Sometimes you can't prove it, but the thought goes through your mind, why spend money there? Anybody go hitting any shows up this weekend? I'm dry around here. The only thing was Fishers, Indiana tomorrow, but being a 3.5, 4 hour drive, I just didn't feel like doing it. It's a good show, don't get me wrong, but just don't feel like making a drive. And if any of you guys are going to Salem, Indiana next week, let me know. I'm gonna hit that one up. Yeah, I did. I was talking about it earlier. I think that with SGC, for them to stay competitive, they need to lower their prices again. There's just no way around it. I mean, PSA lower prices, I'm pretty sure is why they got cut in half with what they graded last month. But if they're going to stay in for the future, they have to. Because, like, for me to send vintage in, I'll just wait for a PSA to do another value thing. If SGC dropped it at $12 to $15 a slab, I would do it with them just to move stuff quicker, especially vintage. They could be. A lot of them just don't know if they're repacked. They just don't have the knowledge. I've heard that, Charles. I've heard that. I've heard a few people going around with little weight scales and stuff too. Little handheld ones they're putting their stuff on. Yeah, granted, they could. They really could. I mean, that's why with a lot of the product, like with Panini, like if you look at like NT and iMac, there's a box inside the box with a seal on it, and a lot of times that's like your double and triple tamper proof stuff. But like for example, like Prism or something like that, yeah. Because if you really look like back in like 15, 16, 17, even 18, maybe even 19, a lot of guys used to take their flawless cases and show the briefcase hasn't been cut with the seals and the NT. They don't do that no more, a lot of the breakers. A lot of them don't do that at all. Yeah, Charles, the only thing I would really send to SGC right now would be vintage, especially if it's going to be like a 4 or lower. The value is pretty much a couple bucks difference. Now, I mean, 5s and 6s and stuff, I'd have to really look at the price difference and what would make more sense onto it. But yeah, I mean, PSA right now is the place to go. I mean, if you're really looking for like a quick turnaround flip time, SGC, but the newer stuff's still going to take a hit onto it. You're going to have to hope somebody gets into an auction war that wants to play the crack and resubmit game. Oh, for sure. That's why we started doing the dual camera thing onto it, because you could knock over a camera because of just the excitement of a hit, whatever it may be. They've already said they're less than the middleman, and minus the retail is, I guess GTS could do their retail like hangers and blasters or whatever, but they're all going to go with hobby, like direct to consumer, minus some of the shops and stuff that's going to be in their little Fanatics elite group or whatever they're calling it now. I never did either. And to be honest, I didn't start stacking wax until I was deployed. And I always had a brilliant idea. I'm going to come home one night and just get drunk and open wax. Never happened. So that's why I had a lot of wax for a long time, because I just never opened it because of that reason. I wasn't buying to hold to invest, but eventually came into that. Um, or I would, like, for example, I might order back in LeBron's rookie year, I'd order 2 Topps Chrome boxes, 2 Fleer Mystique, and 2 of something else. Well, I might open the Fleer Mystique up and put the Topps Chrome aside or something, or I'd open one box up, I pull Carmelo, and I'm like, oh, is there a LeBron in this other one or not? And that's the only reason why I still have some of that stuff. Retail's a harder break though, too, of pulling anything notoriety. I mean, during was it Zion? Yeah, Zion and Morant's rookie year. I can't tell you how many hangers I bought from GTS. I never pulled a Mosaic Genesis, but I did end up pulling a Morant auto, which was kind of rare. And I still got my count with them. It's just that my allocation has just gone down, especially when I was just concentrating on tops. Even Pokemon's deteriorated just because I have no idea why. I used to be able to get full case ETBs now. Lucky to get a box or two, but you don't ever get a whole lot of time to reload into stuff anymore either. Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff like I had, like I said, was just because of Luca's rookie year. I'd add boxes to get free shipping. I had so much in Luca's stuff, it wasn't even funny here. I just stopped opening it when I get in. It's sitting in a closet. Now it's getting ready to go to guy down in Georgia. Wants it all. Okay. Like I told him, I said, if I kept it, because I didn't touch anything in that order. I only opened when I opened that whole order up. So I said it could be anything in it. Plus, it's where's a sealed retail prism case from Zion Rant rookie year. But I have a lot of loose boxes from Lucas rookie year of select contenders, prism retail, something else too. Can't remember. I mean, if this stuff would have stayed relatively, maybe doubled or tripled in price, I'd probably, when it was $100, now they're selling at 300, I'd probably open it myself. But when the stuff's like $2,000 a box, I'm just would rather get rid of it. Duped. We've been duped. We can all agree we've been duped. Oh man, yeah. That's the one thing I was talking about. Upper Deck, like their stuff always does well on grading. I've never really had much bad to say, like with young guns and stuff. Yeah, I have some nines come back, but I'd get some tens, but you didn't see eights and sevens. when you start looking at a lot of this stuff that Tops and Panini produce, especially like the Chrome stuff, we'll use Prism, Select, Tops Chrome, Bowman products, Optic. That stuff's bad. It's like they're not cleaning the machine in between all their mass cuts and the blades and stuff, and they're cleaning the rollers out. We were duped by him, though. We could all agree we were duped. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was debating for the longest time about just doing a night of just opening all that stuff from like 2018 and forward. And a buddy of mine's been hitting me up for probably about 2 years now for it all. And what I did is I went on GTS, seeing what they were selling it for, took a good percentage off, told them I do part in trade and part in cash. And part in cash is very small. The trade, getting the old vintage Grady cards, is worth more to me than anything out of the deal. Getting some Jackies, Mickeys, Hank Aaron rookie, Koufax rookie, stuff like that. Somebody was just talking about, I think it was called like RVP or something like that. It's supposed to be really good. I just, it's one of those gambles. Back in the day, it was a cheap gamble. Now it's an expensive gamble that I just won't take. I mean, I remember buying up to, I think my 89 score football boxes wrapped went as high as like 225, 250. I didn't buy after. I was buying a lot of them at like $1.50. Well, guys, I think I'm going to call it for tonight. I got to get up early, go make a run to the farmer's market at 7 a.m. before everybody with the new COVID and monkeypox in my area get down there and want to like touch all the fresh fruits and vegetables. We went back in like a high hazard zone for some reason, the county. But I'm going to call it here tonight. I'll be back next Friday, though, with overtime for sure. We'll hit some more stuff up. I'll see if I can find some more people who want to jump in at night, come in and chit chat so you guys can see some more faces with everything. Oh, yeah. It's the market's flooded. But other than that, appreciate everybody stopping in tonight. I will be back, like I said, next Friday night, same time, about 9:30. Give me a couple minutes to get the YouTube piece squared away again, since I have to automatically dig into it to get everything filtered right. And September 17th, trade night Discord. I don't know what I was going to say there. For Discord, I'll get a video out before that. Next week, I'll hit the announcement up for the Gridiron Games. It's free to enter. I'll have that whole video explaining that up. You were in it last year, same concept. The only difference is how I'm going to do the prizes. But other than that, Grunt Dad, stay safe in Vietnam. No joke, he's really there, guys. Not like an inside joke or nothing. The rest of everybody else, take care. Have a safe weekend out there. And I'll be back for sure next Friday because I'm just driving up to a show. No setups or anything. All right, everybody, take care. See you next one.